Hi and welcome to the FinancialFox Week In Review, where we talk about markets, investments, and because it's the weekend, obviously lifestyle. So what we are going to start with today. Today I'm going to start talking about gold, because gold has been having an amazing run, continuing its race upwards, and the prices approach the $2,000 an ounce mark, which, you know, is really high, but is not going to be the highest, because analysts are expecting actually gold to go up and to probably to hit $3,500 in 2 years. So there is a trend, a bullish trend in gold that is not going to stop. And obviously the reason behind it is obviously the market volatility, everything we are seeing with the coronavirus, a possible second wave, you know, the unemployment rate rising everywhere, and also a weaker fiat currency with inflation. So, you know, investors are basically looking for safe haven assets, and gold seems to be one of them. So what analysts are saying is that you know, you should still look at gold, because it could be still a good time to invest, as they believe it's going to go much higher. Now, talking about safe haven assets, I'm going to bring up another assets, say, that has been going up really a lot recently, and that is Bitcoin. Now, whatever we want to say that is a safe haven asset, or yes or not, that's you know, up to discussion, because it's still very volatile and it's nothing compared to what gold it is. But Bitcoin has basically hit the 2020 high at $11,500. So that is basically quite impressive, and what basically analysts believe is that if he can surpass the $12,500, which is basically was the highest in July 2019, then he will basically break that kind of resistance, and it will remain on top of it. So a bull market could then materialize. Now, I will just leave that to you. Some people, they are not into cryptocurrency, should actually look at Bitcoin, because the fundamentals are very similar to gold as well. So is at the end of the day hard money. And you know, the Bitcoin market has also changed a lot over the last few years. So is an interesting place to be. And the main things that I should say is really not about safe haven assets, but it's more about diversification. And also remember to keep always something in cash, because that is always your cushion. You never know. And if you don't want to be in the position where you are forced to sell something just because you know, you need it, and you might be selling at the wrong time. So I'm going to leave you with these two things, and think about gold and think about also Bitcoin. If you don't know much about Bitcoin, you know, there is a lot out there on the internet. There are a few interesting people that, you know, you should follow on Twitter, like Robert Breedlove, which has got some really interesting views on Bitcoin. You should read about what, you know, he's writing on his Medium channel, and he gives really a lot of information about Bitcoin, all the philosophy underneath it, you know, what it really represents, and what the future, what can you know, what can bring in the future, and how it can develop. So that is a great place to start to understand about Bitcoin. And you know, to buy Bitcoin, you can just go to any exchange. They are well-known exchange like Coinbase, you know, Binance, many. So you know, that I think is you know, it won't be a problem, and it's the same as like an open a brokerage account. So aside of that, I wanted to talk about advertisements. So advertisement has been driving basically the marketing sector for over the last few years. But what's happened with the COVID-19 is that the advertising industry has been really heavily impacted. Obviously, because there are less money available, and companies, they have to maximize their budget, so they are putting obviously less money into marketing. Now, what's the latest news on advertisements? So we saw that Google parent company Alphabet sees its first revenue decline in the history. So search revenue dropped more than $2 billion from last year, and that is really, really big. But it's not just Google. We saw also Twitter. They recently suffered a 23% slump in advertising revenue in the second quarter, obviously due to the coronavirus pandemic and civil unrest in the US. And basically what Twitter is doing is trying to explore additional revenue stream, including a possible subscription offering. So why is doing that? Because despite the slump and the decline in advertising revenue, is so Twitter saw a record growth in daily users, which is very significant. And other social media like Twitter, for example, Facebook, they saw lots of new people going online and using the platform. So that is definitely an opportunity there. Talking about advertisement, what I would like to bring to your attention is a new product that is being developed by a London-listed company called Online Blockchain. The ticker is OBC. The company is a blockchain company, sister company of ADVFN, the leading global financial news platform. And this new product has caused a significant rise in the share price earlier on this week. Now, what is PC Network? PC Network is an advertising network that distributes advertisement through PTC, so pay-to-click advertising website. And the initial traffic to the site for the first campaign has amounted in total to almost 90,000 unique user visits within the first 24 hours. So that was quite really a big number, considering the fact PTC Network is the only advertising distribution network for PTC advertisement right now. So what is PTC advertisement? They are online advertisement format that draws large volumes of online traffic by rewarding people for checking your website. So this element of reward is really unique to PC Network. And basically what's happening is that part of the payment goes to the viewer when they view the advertisement for a required period of around between 20 and 30 seconds. And this is the difference. This is what they are doing that is completely new. It's not just the fact they're running a campaign on the website will get you out on different websites, and also the campaign will be pretty cheap, much cheaper than what is out there, but also the fact they offer this reward model for the viewers, which is really interesting because we are seeing that everywhere is picking up, and particularly in the crypto blockchain community is a pivotal element of the ecosystem and of the philosophy, because you want to reward the users. They are basically, coming into your brand. The product is currently still in a testing phase, and is designed for crypto gaming gambling business. But the potential, it can be really, really big. So we will see what is going to happen within the next few weeks. I believe that we should be able to see something very soon, and have an update from Online Blockchain. So I will definitely keep an eye on that. The last company that I would like to mention is the Ascend Resources, listed on the stock exchange, ticker AST, with operation in Slovenia and a new strategy in the Caribbean, Hispanic America, with a focus on Cuba. Now, ahead of the initiation of the Cuban operations earlier on last week, they announced a few board appointments. And one of the people that has been appointed as a non-executive director of the company with effect from the 1st of October 2020 is Malcolm Granhood. Now, Malcolm is probably well known as Malky, and is is a very well-known broker and market commentator to both private and institutional audiences. He has over 40-year experience in the energy business, and he has been working with many oil and gas and energy companies over his career. This is his first appointment as non-executive director. So this is interesting, why he chose to come on board. Accepted the offer from Ascent is obviously because he believes that the company has a great upside, considering Cuba is, you know, an unexplored market, unexplored country with big energy and natural resources upside, but, you know, not many company has been able to progress that because, you know, mainly for the US sanction and some other challenges. So it's going to be really interesting how they are going to progress in Cuba. And having somebody on the board like Malky, I think is kind of like an important element and an endorsement also to the board and to the management. So definitely came on board because he believes that the management team can deliver. Now, they are obviously still at the early stage. They are trying to sort out their operation and situation in Slovenia. But, you know, the Cuba strategy has got a really, really big upside. So we are going to see how they are going to be able to progress net. And support from investor has been, is there. So this is everything from the markets. And the last things that I would like to mention is please make sure you follow our Financial Fox, because I have a very interesting interview coming up earlier on next week. And that is with BeefChain, which is a project that Cardano and IOHK is working on. And it's all about food security and traceability. Now, we said, you know, it's the weekend, we want to talk about lifestyle. So talking about food is really important that you know where the food comes from, who is producing it, how they are producing it, how the animals are farmed, and in which condition they are living, and you know what they are eating, and all these kind of things, because ultimately we are eating their product. So this is basically an amazing solution, obviously for the beef industry, but you know it can be applied to anything, and is a great great innovation, and is just one of the project that Cardano is working on. So lots of you know, not great insight, and you shouldn't miss really that interview, because I thought it was really interesting. Okay, so this is now everything, and I wish you an amazing Sunday, and I will see you next weekend. Bye bye.